Hi everybody. Today I'm coming to you from North South Lake Public Campground and Day Use Area. We're in Haines Falls in the Catskill Mountains, right on the escarpment. This is day 1 arriving. We're on site 20 in loop 1. There are 7 loops here. So today I'm basically going to do some setup, and then I'm going to try to do half of the campsite tour. Maybe loops 1, 2, and 3, maybe 4 if I can. And then on day 2, I will go for 4, 5, 6, and 7. I'll have the whole day. It's a beautiful autumn weekend. Temperatures are going to be in the upper 30s, lower 40s. Sunshine and beautiful leaves. They say we're just a bit beyond the peak season in leafing, or leaf peeping, whatever you like to call it. Okay, we're going to head in and check in, get to our campsite, and get things started. Thanks for being here, everybody. Before we get started, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Welcome, everybody, to Site 20 at North South Lake, New York State Department of Environmental Conservation Campground in Haines Falls in the Catskill Mountains of New York. I'm here for 3 nights. I'm going to do a little tent camping. Literally just rolled in the door, and I'm looking around for the first time. Look at this beautiful fire pit I've got here. So, as always, making the decision where to put the tents. Where the picnic table is usually the best spot. You know, I put my cabin tent right here, the kitchen tent in front of it. I can never narrow down what I really want to bring, and I just wind up taking everything. We've got our 2 pop-ups, our mattress, bed. Tent is right here. I got a new bag for the tent. I'll show you that in a couple minutes. This is my new bag. The old one was just a bit too small, and it was a bit too useful. I'm using it for my clothing duffel, and I like this one much better. It leaves me room for the interior carpet inside. I'll show you. Okay, now we just have to spike down the corners and the middles, and we're done. That's the cabin tent. It's as quick as that. It's held up by a strap right up there. I kind of wrap it around once so it pulls it up. If I don't do that, it hangs down too low. Again, just gotta drive a few stakes. That's my favorite part. Okay, everybody, it is 10 minutes to 3. We're here at North-South Lake on Site 20, and where I left you last, I had just put up the tents, the 2 pop-ups, and I had a nice small picnic table, so I popped it right over there. I'm going to put the kitchen table set up in here to work as a bedroom dresser, basically. I got the bed ready to set up and all the bedding, and that's the kitchen table. So that takes care of about half the stuff in the car. The rest of it's all luggage, food, lighting, and firewood, basically. That's all our bedding. I think I'm going to go right in the middle of the tent, right down the center. And I'm going to put the dresser over there. Okay, we'll be back. Okay, I got the bare bones inside set up. I have the bed with a new memory foam 4-inch mattress. Very comfortable. The head adjusts because we are downhill a little bit, so I have it clicked to 1 click up. What is known as a kitchen organizing table. I'm not going to use it in that capacity. I'm going to use it as my dresser, a place to keep my clothes and my equipment while we're camping. This is usually a place for a lantern, but I usually hang a washcloth from here, and I put my lantern from there. Next I have to do bedding, so I've got sheets, my wool blankets, and on my pillows.
And temperatures were between 59 and 60 degrees. Here is the latest NOAA weather radio forecast, issued at 1:46 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. This afternoon, mostly cloudy, near steady temperature in the upper 50s. North winds 10 to 15 miles per hour.
This table has extra legs. If I want to make it a bit taller, eat at it. If I didn't have a picnic table, I would. Made the bed. Got the 2 wool blankets. Could be cold tonight. As far as the what I'll call the dresser now, all I have over here at the moment is a laundry bag, my hiking poles, and my backpack, in case we get to use that, which we will. Extra shoes and boots, hats. That's my GoPro necklace, and my rain slicker right here. My heavy winter jacket's in the corner, and I do have my sleeping bag in case it gets very cold. I don't think it's going to, though. We're looking at upper 30s overnight and 50s during the day. So got the radio hanging there. This is our brand new item. This is a Tough Light new lantern. These little plastic jobs keep breaking on me. I'm getting tired of that, so I bought something that's got a drop rating of 6.5 feet. So even if I get clumsy, I can't really kill it. It's got the usual 3 settings. 1, 2, 3. And if you hold it, it goes red. Now, on the lowest setting, it's good for like 400 hours or some crazy number like that. So it should be good for a long weekend or better. And it holds a charge for, I believe it's 90 days. So you really only have to charge it a couple of times a year. In the bags, I've got all my kitchen stuff. Serving platters, plates, frying pan, pots and pans, coffee mugs, my coffee grinder, teapot, that kind of stuff is all in here. Ketchup and seasonings and coffee stuff in here. Everything we need. And in this one, this is just general camping gear. I keep the lights in here. This is it's the company. Tough Light. This is my battery operated lantern that I have, and I have a couple of bug candles in the bottom of that. A match, a lighter. This is more lighting. My headlight, lanterns, and my torch, my flashlight is in there. Under here, this is where my hygiene bag would go. The hygiene bag is hiding over here. I didn't show it to you. This I just got a few trips ago. Works out very nicely. Everything I need is all in there. Easy to find things. As usual, I've got the car set up as kitchen storage. The cooler, the food, goodies, stuff like that. My camera bag. It's my rigging box. It's stakes and paracord and whatnot. That's tarps. And these are my batteries, my Milwaukee batteries that I use to recharge everything with. Firewood, charcoal, lighter fluid. I brought along the wood stove this time. It saves wood. I can cook on it. And if it rains, I could bring it over here and run the pipe out. And have a little fire underneath the tent. I did this at Rogers Rock, which is playing right now. The Omnibus Edition. Okay, so again, this is going to be at least a 3-day vlog, if not 4. This is Tuesday afternoon. The time is 6 minutes to 4 p.m. on Tuesday, day 1. We're going to be overnight Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I'm going home on Friday. Unless I decide to leave early. It is my prerogative to leave a bit early if I want. I am directly across the street from the shower house / bathroom. It is right there. So a little bit of privacy goes a long way here. Give you a shot from the road. Okay, there's the tent. So as you see, you only get a little glimpse of my camp from the road. And I've got the tarp up on this side. Cut down on the wind first and privacy as well. I'm planning on doing a site-by-site tour here. There's over 200 sites, so it's going to take some time. There are some really good hiking trails here. One of the tallest waterfalls in the region is right here, Kaaterskill Falls, so we're going to be walking down to that. You can actually walk to the top of the falls, and then there's another hike down to the bottom, so we'll be checking that out. It's mid-October, so the leaves here, they're saying they may be just a bit beyond peak, as they are beautiful. A lot of yellows, not seeing too many reds, but you can't beat the beauty. I've got a bit of a hill behind me. I've got some great privacy back here. We also have come here more recently on a day trip with our dog Bella, and we had lunch, and we went over to the site of the Kaaterskill House. There used to be a big famous hotel here. This is also one of the birthplaces of the Hudson Valley School of Art. Just like Long Lake. I believe it's Thomas Cole did a lot of his paintings from here and of here, as well as the Adirondacks. It's a very well-known place. Now, normally in the summer, this place is jammed up, so, you know, what are you going to do? This is the best time to be here when it's not so busy. It is 12 minutes after 4 on day 1. I'm a little bit late for lunch, but I am hungry, so I made a sandwich and some chips. And that's it. We're fully set up, very comfortable, and having food. Now we're officially camping. I think after lunch we're going to go take a walk, and we're going to have a look at this loop. We're in loop 1. And so we're going to go from site 0 up to 25 today. It feels like rain, so I might put on my raincoat just in case. Site number 2 has a beautiful view of the lake. It's right on the road, but not terrible. A little bit of art there. Very nice. Now, we're looking at site number 13. It's got a stream running behind it. Wasn't this beautiful? That would sound perfect all night long. Sleep like a baby here. Site number 13. Site number 43. I really like this one. Got these beautiful boulders. A lot of room to spread out. Very nice. Yeah, let's nominate this one for a star. Definitely. Site number 43. It's not on the lake, but it's a really nice site. Love the rocks. This is site number 29. A nice small site. What's nice is it's got a babbling brook behind it. And you have all this land to play with back here too. Maybe a star for this one, huh? Site number 29. A very nice site. Okay, we're here at the bathhouse in loop number 1. This is the cleanup area, which is beautiful. This is the ADA restroom, which is currently vacant, which I'm not going to go in. Around the corner is the ladies' room. And I'll show you these showers. This is vacant. Does the light come on automatically? No, it doesn't. It comes on slowly, but there it is. It's got a nice little sitting bench there and a dressing area over here. Check out, see if the light turns on this one. It's got a sunlight. Ah, there we go. This one comes on. Maybe I didn't go in far enough on the other one. So yeah, this one the light came on automatically. You can see the shower head, curtain, dressing area, all to yourself. Very private. They've got the hand dryer, which is very eco-friendly. The same old ugly guy in the mirror. Get you a better shot. Nice and clean facilities. Smells good in here. And one back here in the dark. Yeah, very nice. The men's room in section 1, right across from site number 20. Buddy. It is 6 minutes to 6 o'clock on day 1. I just got back from doing loops 1, 2, and 3. I'm doing them on that camera. I'm trying to organize my shoots so I have the sitetour on one SD and the camping video on another, so I don't have to do so much organizing. Time to make a cup of tea. Nah, I think I'll have a cup of coffee. I need something strong. I'm not really hungry because I wolfed down that sandwich before, so a cup of coffee will do it. I've got some goodies. I've got some cheese Danish, and I believe I have some donuts in here somewhere. Yeah, they're down on the bottom. There they are. Donut holes. It's not too light in here. I can't see very well, but you can see these really well. On to a cup of coffee. Oh boy, I need this. Nice hot cup. Not much of an update. I think after the coffee I'm going to make a small fire and warm up. Well, I'm looking at an early night tonight. I could use some rest. I had a long day. Thanks for being here. If I don't come back, have a good night. I'll see you first thing in the morning. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and of course, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Okay, just getting a small fire going. It's 1 minute after 7 o'clock on day 1. It's not that cold out. Just want to warm up my toes a little bit. Just have a small pipe on. Hey. That should get going fast enough. It's 5 minutes to 9. I'm going to bed. Had a nice fire. It's very warm. But I'm tired. Time to get some shut-eye. Good night, everybody. I'll see you in the morning for coffee. Good morning, all. It's 18 minutes to 8 o'clock on day 2. It was a glorious sunrise. This is my first full day here. Just a little bit of activity first thing this morning, but not much. Big news is I've got coffee going. A nice cup of hot coffee and 2 eggs fried with some ham and cheese. Good eating. Breakfast is done. I'm just sipping on my coffee. I'm sitting close to the fire. With the stove, if you just sit right in front of it, you get a nice blast of heat right here. And you just move around to keep everything warm. It's a lot easier than starting a big campfire, and I'm not going to be sitting here for more than another 15 minutes or so, so it's a good use of wood. I skipped dinner last night, so I've got a nice lunch coming. I brought up a nice fresh salad and a piece of chicken to go with it. The camp's in pretty good shape. There's not much I need to do. Just put away the garbage and lock up the car. That's one thing camping by the shower house and bathrooms is it's a bit noisy in the evening. People coming in to do their evening rituals. And even the first thing in the morning, emergency calls, people come driving up real fast, you know. Poor things. But I understand. I'm a light sleeper, so it's partially my fault. I wake up at every little noise because I like to hear them. Well, I heard some. I imagine there were toads this morning making some noise, and I was listening to a couple of owls talking to each other last night when I first went to bed. Last night while I was doing the campsite tour, I ran into a little family of deer crossing the street. They didn't pay me much mind at all. I guess they're used to campers. Still be careful. You never know what they're going to do. Okay, site 111. Oh, I do like this one. Very nice and clean. Beautiful moss-covered ground under the pine trees. Very nice. And a nice fire pit. Site 116. Oh, very dramatic hill in the background. Has a great effect. Lots of nice trees. This is a nice site. I say we put a star on this one because it's got beautiful boulders and nice privacy. Yeah. We're going to put a star on 116. 143 is right on the lake. You can get you a wide pan first. Nice big tree. Shame that they lost one. There's the lake. And this is site 143. It's got a really nice pit and table. You're down the end of this little gravel path off the main camp road. And that's a foot trail that goes through the lower levels of the camp. All the way back to where I am in Loop 1. 144 you can view through the leaves. There's a trailer on board. It's a nice one, Catalina. Very pretty. Obviously we can't go on the site to have a look. This one is 145 on the lake. Very nice. And through the bushes is 146. You guys? A big moment for me, the first time I'm meeting one of my fans.
Yeah. Hi, nice to meet you.
A pleasure to meet you. My name is John, by the way. That's what the J stands for.
Love your show.
Well, thank you. I finally got around to North-South Lake.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm doing then.
Yeah, we're doing the tour. We're in 147 right now. We caught some fish there this morning.
Very good.
Yeah.
147.
Yeah.
You're my next site to go have a look at.
Well,
All right.
enjoy.
Well, this should be up on the channel in vlog form in about a week.
Okay.
And then, later on in the winter, the site tour will come out and all that. All right.
Oh, yeah, well.
What are your names? First names?
Tim, and this is Kate.
Tim and Kate, it is a very pleasure to meet you. Thank you
to
so
meet
much
you.
for recognizing me. You're the first ones that ever picked me out of a crowd.
Really?
Yeah. Well, Tim's in this site right here in 147. It's got a beautiful site right on the lake. Very nice.
Okay.
This is site 148. He's a friend. I think he's caught on the bush. He should be okay. That's site 149 is right here. Let's check out site 149. And the beautiful lakeside site. Someone put their tent right there, which is probably a bad idea. Let's see. You got a beautiful spot here. Get a good shot of the lake. Very nice. Okay, we just got back from doing more of the site tour. We did loops 4, 5, and 6. 10:32 on day 2. It's a bit early for lunch yet, but it's a perfect time for a cup of coffee and maybe a cheese Danish or a couple of donut holes. Maybe both. Alright, it is 9 minutes to 11 on day 2. Back from doing my site tour today. And ready for a coffee break. We're here at North South Lake Campground in the Catskills. I believe it's Haines Falls, near Palinville, not far from ski country. Very familiar with the neighborhood. I've just got one loop left. It's loop 7. I believe the last site that I filmed was 187, so I think we go up to like 210 here. If you take a look at this map, yesterday we started with our loop right here in loop 1, sites 0 through 25. Then I got in the car and I parked at the trailhead by one of the hiking trails up by by loop 2 and 3, and we did that loop, walked around, got all the great sights there. We came back because it was getting late and dark. First thing this morning, I got in the car, went from here over to that same parking area, and then I walked into loop 4. After I was done with loop 4, I got back in the car and I drove down to another hiking trailhead parking area where I parked and walked back up to loop 5. Walked through that one, then loop 6, walked through that one. Came back here for lunch, so that's just leaving me with loop 7 to do, and then to go check out the rest of the campground, the day use areas, and the hiking trails, which, I mean, it's only 11 o'clock now, so if I do loop 7, that should take less than an hour. Then, you know, I can go up to Artist Rock, possibly, or North Point. You know, just stretch my legs. Not that I need to be stretched. I've done a fair amount of walking the last 24 hours. It's very quiet here in the camp right now. Seems like after about 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning, everyone goes out and starts hiking or sightseeing, whatever they're doing for the day. So it's very quiet. We were just down by the lake. The lakefront sites are absolutely beautiful here. So that's just a quick check-in right now. Again, just having a coffee break and some donut holes. Sites 188 to 218. Since there was nowhere to park up in this area, I decided to walk up from loop number 1, my site 20, to get here. Uphill the whole way to 195, which is ADA compliant, labeled such. It's got the small gravel, but the table is not ADA compliant. Fire pit is all day long, but it looks like someone might have switched the tables. Okay, not good, people. Site 202. Ooh, a mossy covered ground. Very nice. Beautiful forest view. Yeah, I'll take this side all day long. Let's put a star on here, if for nothing else. The beautiful moss covered ground. This is site number 218. This is the last site in the loop. Let's give it a quick look. Doesn't look like it's been used in a while. I would almost say it was closed so that you know, it recovers, because it doesn't look like anyone's camped here in some time. But there is no signage that I saw, so I'll take this moment to thank you for sticking it out to the end and spending your day here watching our site tour view of North South Lake in the Catskill Mountains. I believe we're in Haines Falls, New York. And that's the end of the site tour. You've seen it all. Now, feel free to share this with your friends, anyone that you're going to go camping with here. Let them look through the sites for themselves. And there are a lot of beautiful sites right on the lake, but that's not the be-all, end-all. Some of these forested sites are a lot more private, a lot more secluded. You might see more wildlife. It's one of the campgrounds that are open the latest. I believe it is the latest. They're open until late October, which gives you some of these autumnal views that are just invaluable. Lets you break out some of your cold weather gear. You know, there's something to be said for autumn camping. It's very nice. I'm going to have a nice big fire tonight a big dinner. And tomorrow we're going to do some hiking. Go check out Kaaterskill Falls. On our way back from Loop 7, which officially completes our campsite tour here at North-South Lake in Haines Falls, up on the escarpment in the Catskill Mountains. They say we're just beyond peak on the autumnal colors, the leafing season. But I say it's still quite beautiful. And you get to see more into the forest than you could during the summertime. Here's a pretty spot down by the lake, right over by the caretaker's quarters. It's some beautiful birch. Directly across the lake is the day-use swimming area, all the way around. Very pretty. Got a little barbecue pit. I guess you could, yeah, bring a boat. Sure enough, there's a boat. So if you're camping at Loop 1, you can keep your boat here, or this looks like it's more like the caretaker's boat, to be honest with you. But what a pretty spot. How about a nice long slow pan here. North-South Lake, mid-October 2025. Okay, this is labeled the faculty supervisors or residents. I guess that's where they chill out when they're not working, because they are often working. And right next door, it is labeled pollinator habitat, so you wouldn't want to go walking across that. Because without the pollinators, we're also... Sorry about that. We need the pollinators. Looks like there's also a wellhead. Pollinator habitat at North-South Lake. Very nice. Now we are on a trail here. I see yellow blazes on the trees. We're heading into Loop 1. Now this is a foot trail. I've seen where it goes about 5 sites up to the right, and that trail will take you all around North-South Lake campground and day use area without having to go up the hill to the main camp road. It's a very nice thing. Okay, we're off and running. Look at the scene though, it's absolutely beautiful. Okay, another trip is done. We're back at camp. The time is 12:37 p.m. on day 2. It's lunchtime and I'm very tired. Had a very nice walk today. I've seen every campsite in the campground, so a well-deserved break. We'll be right back. Okay. It's 9 minutes to 2 o'clock on day 2, and I'm making a late lunch. I've got a nice looking chicken breast on the fire. I made a charcoal fire. I moved the hot stove out. That's about a quarter of the way done yet. Still got to go. I'm having a glass of soda, relaxing from a long day of walking. Our chicken breast with some nice fresh salad that I brought along and I made the other day before I left. I was supposed to have it last night for dinner while it was fresh, and it still is. Just later on, I got a homemade batch of sauce and pasta with some sausages to go with it, so we could use some protein to rebuild our muscles. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have a nice campfire tonight. We got firewood ready to go. I am recharging all our batteries in the sun. And I do have some dishes to do, but I figure I'll do those after lunch. And that's about it. I've got some good music on the radio, which I just flipped over to the weather channel so we wouldn't get any conflicts with copyright. Just so we could all stay in the back of the truck. I don't have to worry about getting yelled at by the rangers. Apparently you get one warning, and then you're in trouble. So the cooler and the food and all the food-related activities are going to stay in the back of the truck. Keep me out of trouble. Yes, apparently there's a big bear problem here at North-South Lake. I've heard the same story from every DEC campground that I've been to. So that's really good that the bear population is so healthy. I'm glad to hear that. Alright, that's it. That's for our update. Right now we'll call it the 2 o'clock update. I'm basically just chilling, relaxing, resting my muscles. Look at the beautiful sun came out. You got to celebrate these moments of sunshine in the Catskills when they come. Because they could be few and far between this time of year. I'll come back when our food is ready and give you a look at how it turned out. It's a pretty simple meal. It's just chicken breast. It's got salt, pepper, garlic, and onion powder on it, just to flavor it up a bit. And I'm going to serve it over a nice fresh garden salad. You know, every once in a while, I got to eat a little bit of salad. And get some Caesar dressing and some pecorino romano cheese. Yeah, my favorite. Check inside the cabin tent. It's a bit messy, but it's lived in. I should open up the windows, get some fresh air in there. Had them closed all day because it's been threatening rain most of the time, and I've been out of camp, so I don't want to leave the camp with the windows open. Maybe I'll open them now. Get some moisture out. Okay, that's it. Okay, looks cooked through. Let this settle for a little while, and we're going to make ourselves a nice salad with some grilled chicken. Very healthful lunch. Okay, it is 20 minutes after 2 o'clock on day 2, and we finally have our late lunch of a beautiful Caesar salad with some pecorino romano cheese with grilled chicken on top. A very nice lunch. And later on, it'll be the pasta course. I'm going to have some pasta with homemade tomato sauce and some sausages. Okay, so that's what I'm eating right now on day 2 for a late lunch. That was really good. Very filling. I'm going to have to wait a while for dinner. Okay, we are all set up for a hike around the lake. It's getting a little blustery out, but I brought my raincoat just in case. I think we're going to take a shortcut through the bathroom area. Here's where the camp road intersects with the foot trail that goes through the park. Okay, we made it back by 4:35. I could use a shower. There's no place like home.
The Hudson Valley Traffic Center. I'm Ryan Robin. It's very simple. Lockstop Mattress and Furniture Outlet offers the same.
Okay, so there is our dinner on day 2. Got some homemade tomato sauce with some pasta and some sausages. Looking good. A little bit of pecorino romano cheese to finish it off. That's our dinner on day 2. Looks good. I can't wait to eat it. The time is 10 minutes to 6 on day 2. We're ready for dinner. Okay, well, that was a good dinner. I just finished cleaning up. I got another cup of coffee on. And the campfire is roaring. Right. Nothing like a day of hiking and camping and eating. Sitting by the campfire for the evening. Well, I do have to run over and do some dishes, but I could do those later. It's 8:22 on day 2. I sat by the fire most of the evening. I fell asleep for a little while. I came into the tent, I got myself warm. I'm laying in bed underneath my wool blankets. I'm going to review the video from today. It's what I tend to do at night. And get myself mentally prepared for tomorrow. So, sorry I didn't give you any updates. I was able to manage a phone call to my wife to let her know how I was doing. I have a nice steak for dinner tomorrow night. Nice big porterhouse. Thanks everybody for being here. I got a big belly full of pasta and sausage right now that I'm going to sleep on. It's going to keep me warm. I know it was a long day. Well, thanks. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, comment below, and please subscribe. I'll see you in the morning with a hot cup of coffee. Good night all.
11 p.m. this evening to 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time Friday. Impacts. Frost could harm sensitive outdoor vegetation. Here are the 7 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time observations. At Dutchess County Airport, it was partly cloudy. The temperature was 34 degrees, the dew point 33, and the relative humidity 96%. The pressure was 29.96 inches and steady around the Monticello and Poughkeepsie area. Throughout the region, it was clear. It was 36 at Monticello, looking New York City.
And it was very windy overnight. The gusts up in the 30 to 40 miles an hour. We're rocking the tent pretty good. As I'm up here, it's just after 7 o'clock. Quiet time is over, so I have the radio on. The tent held up just fine. It was warm under my wool. I'm making a cup of coffee right now. I've got the hot stove running. So I'll have a warm place to sit. The sun is out. I didn't go down and check out the sunset. It was too cold and very windy. Thought it might be dangerous. Thinking all night, what's above me? It looks pretty clear. No widowmakers. I'm gonna get my coffee going, finish my morning routine. Good morning, everybody. We'll just call it 7:10 on day 3. We're at North South Lake in Haines Falls, New York, in the Catskill Mountains, right on the escarpment, overlooking the Hudson Valley. Brr, it's cold. Okay, a nice strong cup of coffee. A couple of eggs with some ham and cheese. We're gonna make ourselves some breakfast. Oh, let's have a look. Oh yeah, nice. Oh, I'm being flooded by heat. How nice. It's in the upper 30s right now. The sun's been up for about a half an hour. I can't get to my watch. Let me see. It's about 7:45 on day 3. And it's cold. It's upper 30s. The wind is still blowing. This heat is feeling great. You know, all the fat wood burned off. We're starting to burn clean. And we can start cooking. Make an egg sandwich. Back in the jiffy. Okay, and not just say camping, huh? A couple of fried eggs for breakfast. Gonna make a sandwich with some ham and cheese. Want those edges nice and crispy, right? Okay, there's our 2 eggs fried on a sesame seed bun with a bit of American cheese and some deli ham. Prepared on our hot tent stove and a frying pan. Gotta start off a morning like this with a good hot breakfast. Most importantly, with a good hot cup of coffee. Oh, good stuff. Oh, we'll be back after I stuff my face. Good morning, everybody. It is 9:26 a.m. on day 3. We're gonna go take a hike today to Kaaterskill Falls. I decided to drive over to the trailhead because it's a pretty healthy walk that I took yesterday. And I don't see a good reason to do it again. It's not a bad trail, but there's nothing really exciting going on there. So we're gonna take a quick drive. First, we have to stop at the refuse and recycle center, get rid of some trash and recycling, and then we're gonna get right over to the trailhead for Kaaterskill Falls, which should take us to the top of the falls. They have a garbage truck. All right, let's go have a look at the refuse center. Okay. So we put our cans, plastic, and glass, and refuse. So Abe, do you think today's visitor will trash the place? Well, George, they're getting better about that. Okay. Keep that door closed. We don't want to feed the bears. Train them that there's food around. Okay, we're just parked in a parking lot right over there at the end of the lake. The trailhead for Kaaterskill Falls is up this road. Right over there. Okay, here's the trailhead. Okay, everybody, I just got back from the observation deck of the upper Kaaterskill Falls. It's about a mile hike from where I'm sitting. Downhill all the way, uphill all the way back, but really not very difficult. So I'm going to go take a breather, go make another cup of coffee back at my campsite, and then we're going to decide what to do with the second half of the day. It seems like there are quite a few tourists out on the lower Kaaterskill Falls trail right now, so I don't know if I want to get involved in all that. It is 11 o'clock on day 3. Yes, it's Thursday, and a beautiful day it is. Crisp and cool, nice breeze in the air, very comfortable. So, all right, back to our campsite next. Thanks for being here. Okay, everybody, we're back from our Kaaterskill Falls hike. It seems chillier here in the campground than it was on the trail, so I put on a heavy jacket, and I feel much better now. It's not quite lunchtime, but I'm feeling the urge for another cup of coffee and maybe something sweet. It was a beautiful hike, but way too many people on the trails, and it was very difficult to get a clean video clip of the falls without hearing somebody speaking in the background. The time is 11:38 a.m. on day 3 at North-South Lake Campground in Haines Falls, New York, right on the escarpment of the Catskill Mountains. Great place to be this time of year. It's 12:42 on day 3. I've been sitting here listening to the weather report, and they're talking about high winds and freeze alerts for the morning. And I can't think of a good reason for me to stick around for all that fun. I finished the site tour. I've hiked to Kaaterskill Falls. I've done most of the other trails in this park at one time or another. What I'm going to do is break camp now and take the rest of the afternoon once I get this all broken down, which should only take about an hour. You've seen me do this a bunch of times. It's not a very time-consuming process. It's just a matter of packing everything up, getting it in the car, and getting on the way. I have this all done by 3 o'clock or so, and we're going to get on the road on the late side, probably around 4:30. The sun's going to go down about 6:15. And that would get me back into the city by Friday night, 8:30 or so, after traffic, well after traffic. And hopefully I won't have to sit in too much bumper to bumper. I'm a little disappointed. I was gonna tough it out, but it's not so much the temperatures as the high winds. Last night we had 25, 30 mile an hour winds, and you know, this setup doesn't like really high winds. And I didn't want to see it get damaged. So if I hadn't accomplished everything that I came here to do, this probably wouldn't be the case. I got the most out of the leaf peeping season here. Most of the leaves are off the trees now with all the wind last night. I got my hike over to Kaaterskill Falls, which was very nice. Beautiful video. And I'm just sitting here drinking my coffee, listening to the weather report, and talking myself into packing up. So I've already broken down most of the cabin tent interior. The bed's all put away. The rest goes pretty quick from here. Once I get all these little things put away, breaking down these tents only takes about half an hour or so. Pack it into the car, maybe another half hour. So I'm ready to leave by 3 o'clock. And we're going to get on the road. We're going to call it a 3-day vlog. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, that's plenty for North-South Lake. I even have other videos that I've shot here in the past, so whatever I didn't get here I've probably already gotten in the past. And also leave something for the future. Maybe I'll come back and do the lower Kaaterskill Falls trail, and there are about 5 or 6 other trails that head off in this park, so they're well worth taking. Artist Rock is one that I've done. It's very nice, so we'll hold those for the future. It'll make a nice addition, a nice video all on its own. My legs are tired between the site tour and the hiking, 2 days of hiking. We went around the lake yesterday, and today we hiked down to Kaaterskill Falls. Neither of which were incredibly hard hikes, but when you combine them with everything else I've been doing, it's it's a bit much. So rather than getting hurt, and I slept last night dreaming about these limbs up here in those 25 mile an hour gusts that were coming up the escarpment, and yeah, that convinced me to get going. The one that I'm looking at right now, let's try to zoom in on it. And it's not the biggest of logs, mind you. It's a good 2 inches around, and it's hanging by a toothpick. And we're in no hurry. There's no rush. There's no stress. Hell, I'm not even going to have to do the dishes. I'm just going to put them all in my bin and take them home. And there's all sorts of good things. Look for the silver lining, guys. Always look for the silver lining. Staying here one more day and freezing my butt off. I'm listening to the gale winds come up that hill and shake this poor tent around. And it could potentially break them. These really don't like very, very high winds. You know, if I were beach camping, I probably wouldn't be using these, and these kind of winds remind me a lot of beach camping. We're ready to travel. Packed everything in. Seems like I bring home more than I bring with me, but I got everything in. I gave away my last bundle of firewood to a nice couple on the other side of this loop. They were very grateful. They're beautiful. I got to pet their beautiful dog, which was a bargain. Everything is nice and tidy, just the way I found it. And I think I'm just gonna go for home. I've had enough. I want to get home to see my dog. I want to get home to see my wife and our little kitty. And I've been away long enough. Thanks everybody for joining me here at North South Lake for a late October autumn festival here in the beautiful Catskill Mountains, my second home. I think I got the best of the autumn foliage. At least my favorite part, the end, where you can start to see through the trees a little bit more. And I walked down the Kaaterskill Falls this morning, which was a really nice walk. I got a lot of exercise this weekend. I was going to try to take another hike, but I'll be absolutely honest with you, I'm done. After packing up, I'm wiped out. I'm just going to get in the car and I'm going to head for home. Let me end this on a beautiful note. There's some beautiful fall foliage. Pretty berries. Thanks everybody. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. Have a great time camping. Enjoy the rest of your autumn. Get out there and enjoy the leaves while they last. I know some of you on the southern tier are just starting with autumn. We're just about done. Bring on the skis and the snowshoes. Winter camping videos are coming up. Thanks for watching, everybody.